You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It's your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys. And today we are going to be talking about lawn and landscaping bidding tips, especially when it comes to commercial properties. This time of year, we're having a lot of conversation about how to get more commercial work. The commercial companies out there are actually more than likely giving you guys a bunch of calls. I know we're starting to receive them, which is awesome. Between the new snow accounts that we picked up this year, we actually have 4 commercial sites that we've been preparing bids for the last day or two. Got to get these rock and roll and sent out today, Monday, real time. And then also a 5th site that called me that we don't do snow for, maybe one day, but they're right down the road. They're another one that I'd love to take on. I know the site really, really well. And that's outside of 2 or 3 other sites that I could potentially subcontract out for. So, man, things are booming. We got a lot going on. Brian's Lawn Maintenance is actually hitting on all 8 cylinders right now. I think I was just talking about this on a YouTube video that we dropped over the weekend. Just in snow work, we did like $33,000 or something like that in the last couple weeks, which is ridiculous. Pretty good stuff for my smaller company. And so we still rock and roll, man. I know a lot of folks think that we do just YouTube full-time or social media full-time at this point, but the reality is that we still make way more money from our lawn and landscape business than we do from anything that YouTube pays. All right, so that's the reality of it. And so that being said, commercial accounts are coming in left and right. And so here's some tips that I want to give you guys. And then also talk about the fact that we're going to be raising prices. A lot of you guys have been seeing the rate increase letter or the market adjustment. Just having some fun there. I made a little meme over the weekend. Instead of calling it a rate increase, call it a market adjustment, because that seems to be the digestible term for the economy right now with how ridiculous everything is in the economy with inflation and materials going up, cost of goods going up. It's just ridiculous. Everybody's touting 7 to 10%. I think most of us are wise enough to know that it's probably double that in reality, if not more. So, just to be transparent, to build our home, it's an additional 6 figures just in the last 12 months when you add up everything, right? So the whole 7 to 10% thing is pretty much a laughing joke to me because I don't see that. I see double that, if not more. So here's the deal. Talk about rate increase letters really quick before we get into these tips. You can go to launchpreneuracademy.com. The rate increase letter is ever so popular. It's $49 one time. You get the letter. You can send it out with your lawn contracts. You can send it out with your lawn agreements. By the way, the ever popular lawn agreements, the service inquiry forms that we have, it's a free template. You can get that right at launchpreneuracademy.com. The homepage, scroll all the way to the bottom, and that's where those free forms are, and we send out all of those. We're actually sending ours out today. We prepared about 80 or 90 of them for all of our residential accounts and clients yesterday. My mom came over. It was me, Liz, my mom, and even baby Emmy. We were all licking stamps, writing all our letters out, including the price agreement letters with the customers whose rates we are raising, which is all of them. And all those are going out. So we'll expect those back through the month of March, and then that helps us get our ducks in a row for our work, our business, bids, everything that we needed to make sure that we got the lay of land. So, man, we're hitting it, dude. You guys can tell. Like, I'm excited and I'm fired up. Well, that being said, one other quick promotion here is the whole ball of wax is on sale, 10% off through the month of March. Promo code SPRINGRUSH saves you guys 10%, which is the biggest sale we're going to do on that for the next little while until pretty much Black Friday. So if you guys have been eyeballing the whole ball of wax, if you guys have been looking to go all in, get access to all the postcards, the contracts, the resources, you guys are taking your lawn and landscape business all in 2022, consider checking out the whole ball of wax. It's a huge sale, huge promotion, and a heck of a deal. It's already 50% off compared to buying everything off the website a la carte. All right, so here's what I wanted to do. We're going to hear from today's show sponsors, and then we're going to talk about 10 bidding tips. I got a couple here that I can just tease with you. We're talking about how to talk to the decision maker, how to find the decision maker, what's really going on with the property, how to look for troubled areas, talking about walking the property, not being afraid to upsell, talking about how to negotiate favorable payment terms, and so much more. These are just a few of the things we're going to be talking about over the next 25, 30 minutes here. So I'm really excited about that. Let's do this really quick. Before we do, let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer. We're going to hear from today's show sponsors and announcements, and then we're going to come right on back.
You're probably listening to this podcast because you want some momentum heading into the spring rush. If you've made the decision to go all in on your lawn care business, then the whole ball of wax at LawnpreneurAcademy.com is the fastest route to starting strong and putting your company in the best position for success in 22. The whole ball of wax is everything Brian Fullerton offers at Lawntrepreneur Academy at half the price of purchasing every training course, program, and resource individually. And right now, you can save 10% with the code SPRINGRUSH. Not only do you get instant access to everything on the site, along with a one-on-one coaching call with Brian, you get lifetime updates to all the courses, and when new programs come online, those are yours for free. Pause the podcast, go to LawnpreneurAcademy.com, click on the store tab, and use the code SPRINGRUSH at checkout to save 10% on the legendary whole ball of wax.
All right, guys, well, let's jump right back into it. By the way, 2 quick resources I want to give you guys that will go in tandem to the podcast that we're going to do here today is actually a YouTube video that I dropped, I think on Thursday or Friday. This would be just a few days ago, talking about bidding tips. So a lot of these tips are going to be baked into that video, but a actual like visual walk around, right? So we went to 2 different commercial sites. We walked around 2 different properties, the properties I'm actually bidding on, and we talked about things to look out for, what we're pricing it at, things to watch, for when you're doing landscaping and pruning and mulch, and so much more. So if you guys want a visual representation of the podcast we're going to do right here, look back at YouTube for just a couple days ago, and there's a really good video there. Also linked in that video, or if you just type in commercial bidding Brian, on the YouTube search bar, is going to come into should hopefully pop up a video that we did 2 years ago, which was a whole nother site that I bid real time. So we literally took the commercial contract that we have, which is our template. You can get that at LawnpreneurAcademy.com. And we literally bid a whole site real time. I showed the contract, showed the pricing, the mulch, what was it? The irrigation startup, the spring and fall cleanup. And I think the account was like $5,300, a little small commercial account, nothing crazy. And so if you guys want to check something out like that, just type in Brian's Lawn Maintenance, like commercial bidding, anywhere in YouTube or on our YouTube channel, and that should come up as well. Because here's the goal. I love when people talk numbers. I love when people are transparent. I love when people just shoot it straight. Just, I'm trying to piece together my business. I'm sure you guys are trying to piece together yours. I love it when people talk pricing. The only people that I really think talk a lot about pricing are Keith Kalfus, some of his older videos, and then a lot of Stanley Dirt Monkey's older videos as well. But your boy here is always trying to add value, always trying to just give away the farm and just try to tell you guys exactly what I'm doing. And you know what? I'm not right every time. Shocker. So here's the deal. Use them as a guide. Use them as just a benchmark. You can have your prices higher than mine, lower than mine, maybe offer different services or approach it a different way. But you know what? At least there's something to soundboard on for those of you guys that are actually trying to grow a more successful lawn landscape business, okay? So here's the deal. Let's go through the top 10 tips I have. Number 1, and by the way, as you guys would imagine, I think everybody says this on every top 10 list, no particular order. But number 1, let's talk about how to get to the decision maker. The decision maker is the person that you are looking for, and all the other folks along the way are honestly, they might lead to the decision maker, but they're the wrong folks to pitch, to sell, or to communicate to. For example, I'll give you a really good, easy one for snow. I was doing a property, the neighbor next door commercial site hadn't been plowed. I call up the front desk. Hey, your site hasn't been plowed. And instead of me saying, hey, I'm a great snow plow guy. Hey, like you guys have 5 inches of snow in the parking lot, which they know. Hey, your guy didn't show up. Hey, we're reliable. Hey, we're licensed and insured. Instead of giving her the runaround of the pitch, I said, hey, do you have somebody that takes care of this and that would be the decision maker on this conversation? And she said, yep, you're going to look for Jamie or whatever the guy's name was. Okay, no problem. Could you patch me through to Jamie? Now, here's two quick things I want to say right here. Here is the meat and potatoes. Here's bringing home the bacon. You got 2 ways the cookie's going to crumble. Number 1, she's going to put you through to Jamie, whoever the decision maker is, and you can have the same conversation with lawn maintenance. Hi, I'm a lawn landscaper. We're looking to bid some more commercial sites. We're just curious if you guys are open for a bid. Would you be able to put me in touch with the decision maker or whoever handles that? That in whatever way you want to, put that script or that conversation together. That's what you're looking to say. And they're going to go, yep, number 1, it's Jamie, or it's Mike, it's Matt, it's, Brooke, whoever, and they're going to patch you through. And then you're either going to get a voicemail or that person's going to pick up and you do your song and dance. Hey, my name is Brian. I'm a lawn landscaper, or I do snow removal, whatever. We're looking to see if you guys were open to a bid for the upcoming 2022 season. That's it. You don't have to say anything more than that. That's all you got to say. They say yes, no, get out of here. If they say yes, awesome, let me prepare something. I'll get it over to you in the next day or two. No problem. If you guys are ever open-minded, keep in touch. I'll shoot you an email so you got my contact info. And get out of here means, all right, rock and roll. Sayonara. On to the next one. Next, N-E-X-T. All right, so here's the deal. One thing I'd like to say, this is a quick tip that a lot of people know, but a lot of people actually don't know, is if they say, hey, if you say, can you get me in touch with the decision maker? And they say, I'm actually not able to give that person's, phone number out. Or I'm not able to give you that person's email, right? Because they're like the ironclad gatekeeper. That's totally fine. What you can say is, would you be able to take down my email and pass it to the decision maker? Don't give them your phone number, give them your email. Corporate America folks don't call people back. They don't get on the phone unless it's very important to them. What they will do is shoot a non-threatening email to you. They will get back to you via email. So whether you get transferred over via voicemail or the gatekeeper says no, either which way, you say, can I leave my email? So if you do get the voicemail to somebody, don't say, hey, I'm Brian's Lawn Maintenance or Tim's Landscaping. Give me a call back at 555-1212. They're not going to give you a call back. But what you can say is, hey, if you guys are open for a bid, whether it's an apartment complex, an office place, an Amazon warehouse center, a FedEx shipping center, whatever it is, leave your email. Hey, you can get back to us at timslandscaping@gmail.com. Spell it out. Tims, landscaping with a G, no S, timslandscaping@gmail.com. Shoot me an email back and I'll be able to help you out. What happens is, most of the time, 8 out of 10, or even 4/5 of the time, is you'll get an email back from a lady or the guy who's the office manager or the decision maker, right? Number one, the decision maker. And you'll get an email back from Brooke at, Osmo, Automotive, right? Whatever your company is. And she'll say, and usually it's really short and sweet, right, guys? If you've been here, you know what I'm talking about. It's 2 sentences. Hi, I'm the office manager. Sure, we're open to a quote. Please email me something back and we'll look at it. Boom, you're in. Now, if you try to get on the phone and try to get on the voicemail or dig and try to get through the gatekeeper, or even if you get through the gatekeeper and then you get Brooke, who's the office manager, and you're like, hey, I'm Tim's Landscaping, and you start just giving the song and dance. Here's the thing. They're busy. They're running around like a chicken with their head cut off. You're calling on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're busy. They're tied up. They're dealing with a bunch of fires, okay? It's not the time to give your song and dance for landscaping. All you're looking to do is inquire. Are you open? Are you open-minded to a bid? If they say yes, awesome. If they say no, stop convincing them that they need to be open for a bid. Well, you guys are probably overpaying. Not the time. I mean, you can do that, I guess, if you want. For me, I'm looking for green light, folks. Okay? So that's how you get to the decision maker. Another thing I wrote down here real quick in my notes, less is more. Less talking is more. Let me give you an example. If you call up a heating company and your furnace is broken and you're just like, dude, I need my furnace fixed. I think I talked about this once on a podcast before. But then the furnace guy says, okay, no problem. Well, hey, we can be over there today at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. That's a 2-hour window. By the way, really quick, while I got you, we've been in business for 17 years. We're family owned. We're licensed and insured. We're bonded. All of our guys wear little blue slip-on covers over their shoes just so we don't track anything in. We also wear masks just to make sure that everybody's COVID safe. We also make sure that we have brand new state-of-the-art vehicles. They also have satellite and GPS tracking. That way we always know that things are safe and secure. I actually have the best of the best tools. Instead of using, by the way, if we do have to replace something, instead of using copper pipe or whatever, we use a red and blue flex pipe or whatever. Also, who cares? Who cares? I would think like, why is this guy selling me on coming over? I don't care. I don't care who you are, what you use, how new your equipment is. I just want a bid. I just want my furnace fixed. Right? So there's a lot of folks out there. By the way, a lot of you guys do this. Unfortunately, I get your guys' DMs all the time, and you guys send me screenshots of text messages, which, by the way, stop texting people. I've said this 100 times before. My suggestion would be stop texting people. No corporate America person is going to take a bid via text. And you shouldn't even be texting residential customers, okay? All information gets passed through email. for a paper trail. Stop texting your customers. Here's a tip. Never text your customers unless it's, hey, we're coming tomorrow. We got rained out, and you're just doing a quick little info pass like that. Great. If they want anything, like, get off of text message and email your folks. If you shoot me a DM saying, hey, what would you have done better? And your screenshot is of a text message, I'm not going to help you anymore. Okay? I'm not a jerk. I'm just telling you, if you text message people and you've heard this podcast and you say, what would you have done differently? Number one, it's like, dude, you already messed up by texting people. Okay? Stop texting people. I'm telling, and I say this with love because you're running a professional commercial lawn and landscape business, a professional business. Professional businesses email. Okay? Unless it's like, Yardbook or Jobber, and it's sending like a text message for you saying, hey, your service is tomorrow. That's appropriate. Okay. Like an automated system, but, or your scheduled pizza is on its way out the door from Pizza Hut. Awesome. But if the driver from Pizza Hut started texting me and saying, hey, we're going to be coming. Hey, we're coming. Hey, we're coming. Hey, I'm here. I'm like, dude, that's weird. That's weird. Don't text me. Okay. All right. So, less talking is better. Stop trying to sell and convince everybody that you're great at what you're doing. In fact, less is more. Let me say it like this. If the same furnace company you called up said, my furnace is broken, and the guy said, okay, no problem. Our rates start at $199 for a service call. $100 of that is credited towards the bill. If we do need to fix anything, already credited towards parts and service. We can be there between 3 and 5. Please note that if we do any work at the time, payment is due, we take card or check. Is that fair enough? And you say, yeah, fair enough. Come on over. Okay, fantastic. I hang up. I don't think twice about it. To me, I just solved my problem of my broken heater. Okay, my broken furnace. Less talking is more. Stop ad-libbing. Stop explaining yourself. Stop telling everybody how competent you are. Stop telling everybody how better you are. Stop telling everybody why your price is what it is. Stop telling everybody why your price went up. Stop all of it. I see so many folks that I just see like their screenshots on Instagram, and I'm like, why would you ever say that? And look, and I'm not coming like top down. I'm just saying I've been there. I've done all the same stupid stuff, but I'm telling you that's why I'm telling you not to do all this stuff is because you guys have done it. I've done it. The best folks out there that are having the most success with green industry landscaping business are not doing what I was just talking about. Okay. All right. That was a lengthy number one. Let's get moving quick. All right. Number two. Another bidding tip is what's going on with the property. Be careful of dilapidated sites, or we call them like dark or rogue sites. Why are you getting that phone call? If you go to a property and it looks like a bomb went off or it's in the hood and nobody's been taking care of it for a while, and now you're getting a call randomly, just keep your ears up, keep your antennas up. Why are you getting that phone call? Dilapidated sites, huge red flag. Overgrown weeds or shrubs or bushes or mulch that hasn't been, added or topped off or turned over in 3, 4, 5 years. Red flag. Curbs that are destroyed. Parking, handicap spots that are destroyed. All that stuff. Like, look around the property. Like, does it look like they're paying their bills, and does it look like this is an active site or not? If you pick up a warehouse and all the truck bays have all the, the air cushions, for the truck, to bridge the air, when the truck backs into the loading dock, if all those loading dock covers are ripped off, or destroyed, or the loading docks look like all the rails are destroyed and dilapidated, doesn't mean it's not a potential site. I'm just telling you, keep your head in a swivel, ask what's going on with the property. And you can, that's what I put. Ask what's going on with the property. Hey, this site looks a little abandoned. It looks like a bomb went off. What's going on here? Oh, yeah, we just moved in 6 months ago. We took over the property. Things are rocking and rolling. You're going to see a lot of improvements outside. You're one of the folks that we're calling to help do that with all the landscaping. We've got painters coming, pressure washer guys coming, asphalt companies are going to reseal it in the next 60 days. We just bought this, or we just signed a lease. Oh, okay, cool. It puts me a little bit more at ease. If it's like a site that's like, yeah, like this is just a site we're not really using that much anymore and blah, 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 you're like, I don't know if that's going to fit our portfolio. Okay. Number 3, walk the property. Don't rely on Google Maps or Google Earth for exclusive bidding. Google Earth, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. Like, you'll be looking at a certain area of town and like a whole new commercial building is there. And you're like, dude, that building doesn't even show up on Google Maps. Or a whole subdivision is there now. Or a whole building is gone, right? I mean, there's a huge area of Wixom over here that used to be a Ford plant. And if you Google Earth it right now, it'd probably look like 40 acres of just torn up concrete because they just leveled this whole and raised this whole Ford Wixom plant. It was just sitting there kind of like vacant, crushed dirt, rock, garbagey kind of a spot for, I don't know, the last decade, okay? Right now, in less than 18 months, it's completely gutted, renovated, new concrete, all trees and shrubs are going in, crazy big, large commercial / industrial tech park or whatever you want to call it, right? So don't rely on Google Earth. So macro thing is like, maybe they have more parking lot now. You're like, oh, it's like the parking lot's 2 acres, but you didn't know that they like added on 3 or 4 acres total. So they added on 2 more acres. Then you go to snowplow bid and you're like, whoa, what's all this? And you're like, well, Google Earth said it was a 2 acre site and there's 4 acres. Or vice versa. They have a whole field in the back. It looked like a dump out, but now it's maintained. They want it mowed. There's an extra acre back there, but it doesn't show up on Google Earth or Google Maps, okay? Always walk the property. You might see landscape beds that used to be there. They're not there anymore. You might see things that were ripped out or put in, right? So don't rely on Google Earth. Don't get lazy, is my point. Go look at the property. Number 4, look for troubled areas. I talked about this already for a minute. Loading docks, destroyed landscaping beds, destroyed curbs, anything that's going to like prevent you from getting equipment in or out. Areas that might be fenced off, different places where they might have, concrete barriers, just wacko stuff on the property. Look for these troubled areas. Look for high traffic areas too that might be just getting destroyed by cars, people, trucks, and propose that you might want to mulch that instead of quoting it for mowing or something like that, right? Those are just some different things I wrote down. All right, is this helping out a little bit? I'm trying to give my best here. These are some of the things I was looking at on just the sites that I looked at over the last couple of days, just kind of keeping my mind sharp and fresh. Also, look for overgrown shrubs, and I just wrote like weird things, like tons of trash or just weird stuff. Okay, just watch out for like fast food areas and spots by highways or Meijer parking lots or grocery store parking lots. They just collect trash like crazy. Make sure you bid trash pickup. I don't have an official rate for you, but $50 an hour to pick up trash or $100 every time you pick up trash. I don't know. I don't care. But bid for that. Like we have a site that's by a Culver's, and dude, we have so much trash from Culver's. I take 2 5-gallon Home Depot buckets every visit of just garbage and trash. And that's outside of anything that comes off of like the highway, like plywood or, tire hubcaps, and just random garbage like that. So just look at your sites, look around. Don't just look at the grass. What's the area look like? What's going on? Or is this a high traffic area, a low traffic area? Is it a safe area? Is it a not safe area? Look, if it's a not safe area, you better figure out where you're going to put your truck and trailer, charge a premium. So if something ever gets stolen, you've already recouped that cost. Just if it's in a huge fenced in area, do you have a gate code and all that mess? Just things to look out for. Okay. Hopefully this is helping you guys out. Number 6, I said, don't be afraid to upsell and make recommendations. I was just bidding a site the other day. They have all red mulch. I think red mulch is awful. Literally, I won't do it. But I said, hey, like we could rake this all out of here and put in brown mulch. And the guy's like, sure. Yeah. We just got some last time. The guy, the office manager went and got his pickup and got like 4 or 5 yards and just dumped it all. And a couple of us went, scooped it and put it into the beds. And I'm like, oh my God, why would you do that? But you know what? God bless them. That's what they did. But I said, hey, well, we can clean this all up, get some nice premium brown mulch in here, prune up the shrubs, make things look nice. While I was actually walking the site, lady comes out and says, hey, you guys should put in flowers by the front entrance. I said, we should put in flowers by the front entrance. I'm thinking upsell. I'm thinking annual regenerative income renewal, for flowers year after year after year. I'm thinking, yeah, let's add, a couple $100 worth of flowers, put a half dozen flats in there. Let's go rock and roll. All right. Don't be afraid of the upsell. If there's shrubs and prunes that are overgrown and they just need to get ripped out, rip that stuff out. And if you want to replace it, fantastic. If you want to turn it into a mulch bed, fantastic. But don't be afraid when you're doing these commercial bids to make suggestions. I was just at one of the sites over the weekend and the trees looked just gangly as hell. I said, hey, I got a tree guy. I got a pruning guy. He can make this place look amazing. The guy goes, yeah, absolutely. Give me his number. I don't do a lot of pruning, so I don't include that in my contract. It's a whole nother kind of service or not business, but a part of the industry, if you will, to me and my company. So I don't do a lot of pruning anymore. I give it out to another buddy. If you want to put on 10, 15% on whatever they quote you, fantastic. I think you should. But long story short, I was talking to the guy. I'm like, dude, these trees are ridiculous. These shrubs are ridiculous. He knew it. It was a newer site that they had just started leasing. And he's like, yeah, we got to get this all cleaned up. Fantastic. So most people will appreciate your recommendations. They're upsells, but they're genuine, right? We got to get this place looking nicer. Number 7, a little plug here for Entrepreneur Academy. Use a quality contract. There's so many folks out there that are just like at best emailing, but a lot of folks are like texting people. Yeah, we'll do it for $80 a week for mowing, and then 8 weeks later, somebody shooting me a DM or an email like, hey man, I can't get this guy to pay me. Do you have any suggestions? And I'm like, well, what's your contract say? What's your payment terms? Do you have a card on file? Are you net 30? Yeah, no, dude. Like I was emailing this guy back and forth. He ran up to the rig 3 months ago. Said, go ahead and mow it for $80 a week. I wanted 100. Okay, so like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, what are you doing? Stop taking things on the spot and giving prices on the spot, or trying to sign people up on the spot. You know what I mean? Take 10 seconds, catch your bearing, breathe, come back later that night. If somebody runs up to your rig, hey, get their name and number, their info, and their business card, but say, look, I'm going to come back the next day or two. I'll get you a quote. When your mind's not rushing, when your mind's not busy, go back later that evening at 7 o'clock at night when the office commercial tech park building or industrial building, everybody went home. You know what I'm saying? Come back at 7 o'clock at night when it's quiet, it's peaceful, the sun's setting. You can just walk around, let the site talk to you. You talk to it, see what's going on. I know it sounds kind of funny, but I do that all the time. And I start looking around and I'm like, what's this place got going on? Is this good access? Is it bad access? What do the shrubs look like? What's the landscaping beds look like? Give yourself an opportunity to bid it correctly, okay? Use a quality commercial contract. You can use mine. You can go Google commercial contract. There's a lot of weirdo ones that come up. They're not really that good. I've looked at many contracts. We have one that's $49. There's a residential and commercial bundle I think we have for $85 instead of $49, and $49 saves you $15. I'm not here to sell you, convince I keep using a contract. I'm just telling you what I know is working for my company. We're probably going to do a couple $100,000 this year, like $300,000 with 2.5 or 3 guys. I'm happy with that. I'm not trying to sell you or convince you. I'm just telling you, hey, this is what's working for my business literally today. And I think we've sold many contracts. Over 1,000 people have used that resource, and have probably, think about it, they've probably secured millions and millions of dollars of work. And there's so many folks that text me or email me or shoot me a DM. Hey, dude, use your contract, lock down this $12,000 account, this $80,000 apartment complex all the time. So stop trying to reinvent the wheel, right? Use a good contract. Get the person's info, fill out the contract, edit it on your computer. It's downloadable, it's editable. Add your logo, add all their company info. Run your numbers on a yellow legal pad or on Excel. Get your numbers together, plug them all onto the contract. Get that contract uploaded to email. Email the person back, hey, here's your quote for the 2022 lawn and landscaping bid. To execute, we just need a signed copy of page 2. Look forward to the partnership this year in 2022. Best, Rick's Lawn Care, okay, or Rick's Landscaping, okay? But that's it. Less is more. Don't say, hey, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. There's no reason to email more than, that's how corporate America works. And you guys want commercial accounts. That's how they all communicate, right? Rick, I didn't see you at 2:00 meeting, conference room, Willow conference room. Okay. Hey, Tanya, I'll be there at 2:00. Confirmed. Like that's how email works for a lot of folks. And you're like, hey, like we're net 60. We want to do net 30, but we want to be net 60 because we're a fun, friendly company. We're trying to get more business and more work. And we're really lenient. I know what most companies are really like doggy because they just want to like get net 30 out of you. Like, dude, stop doing that kind of stuff. All right. I just kind of get a little annoyed because I see a lot of that. And I'm like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, you can't really probably fix that customer that you did that with, but learn. It's draw a line in the sand, and the next account moving forward, you can be better at it. Okay. So use a quality lawn care contract. Number 8, negotiate favorable payment terms. A lot of folks, and then I put an asterisk here. I learned this one from Corey. Like when you can. So if you can get net 14 or net 30 or net 21, whatever you want, out of your commercial accounts, awesome. All of ours are net 30. We don't take anything on. Number 1, that's over net 30. Number 2, if they want to pay net 30, I negotiate to net 30. If they don't want to do net 30, it means it's not a good fit for me. If their hands are literally tied and they can only do net 60, totally get it. Totally respect that. No big deal. I for real, I'm not a tough guy. But the reality is that it doesn't fit into my business model, right? Because I own my business. I'm not going to let a customer dictate payment terms. Now, I'm generous, generous. I'm realistic. I understand that almost all commercial accounts are going to be net 30. But if somebody says, hey, we got this 10 grand account or this $80,000 a year account or this $500,000 a year account and it's net 90, I couldn't care less if it was $1 million and the profit margin was 50%. I'm not waiting 90. I'm not holding the bag while the world burns. Okay. You got the Ukraine-Russia stuff going on in real time. You've got, dude, who knows? We could be at World War III in 90 days. Okay. Like, pray to God that doesn't happen, obviously. But, and I'm not trying to be funny here, but I'm just saying I'm not going to get caught holding the bag, right? When COVID happened in March last year, my accounts receivable was 0. Nobody owed me money. And by the way, the world's ending, the whole deal. And I know guys that had 10s, 20s, 50s, or hundreds of thousands of dollars owed to them with their from the previous lawn and landscape season and also the winter season. That doesn't feel good, right? So you're not going to probably be able to do a card on file with commercial, although it's actually been an interesting dynamic here. I have quite a few commercial accounts that pay via credit card, which is really interesting. And I'm okay with that. And most of them have been paying within about a week to 10 days, which is even better. So that's totally cool. One thing I'll say is get a good CRM. A lot of you guys know that we use Yardbook. I love Yardbook. I've got no skin in the game. If you use a different CRM, fantastic. But they do sponsor the YouTube channel. But to me personally, like if you guys sign up, I don't get a kickback or have a code or any of that mess. Just genuinely, I think it's a really, really good CRM. But regardless, use a CRM, Jobber, Element, Synced Up, whatever, whoever, right? Use something that can send a professional invoice. Don't send something via paper. Don't send them a Venmo request or a PayPal invoice request. That's not a professional business. A lot of you guys understand that, and a lot of you guys that are new, I'm just trying to beat a dead horse here intentionally, so you know that's not the best way. That's not a professional way to send an invoice. Okay. All right. So number 8, negotiate favorable payment terms. If you should be able to get everything net 30. Our commercial contract in there has it default net 30. Okay. Number 9, double check your numbers, but don't overthink it. All right. So what do I mean by that? Look at your bid, run the numbers once, run the numbers again. Maybe have your wife even just look at some things. I know it sounds weird. You're like, oh, she's not a business person or she doesn't know what we're doing. Okay, that's fair. But at the same point, they're an intelligent human being. They have another set of eyes. You're preparing a bid at 10 o'clock at night. You're getting tired, right? I have a rule, like don't send anything like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Wait till 8, 9 a.m. in the next morning so you can look at it again with a fresh set of eyes. And then when you get done, you're like, man, I just want to punch this thing out and send it. That's fair. That's fine. I get it. I'm not opposed to that either. However, I try to wait till the next morning, not because it's some like guru tactic to make sure my email's on top at 8, 9 in the morning or only send out bids on Friday because everybody's pissed off on Monday. Like, that's all just hogwash. The real answer is action. Get it in their email box, okay? But whether you do that at 11 o'clock at night or 8 a.m. the next morning, it's almost irrelevant, okay? And I know there's 1,000 people that tell you, send all of your emails and newsletters at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. Google, right now, best time to send a newsletter. They'll all tell you 2 o'clock weekdays, usually Tuesday or Wednesday, because everybody's getting their coffee and they want a mid-afternoon break and people are welcoming a distraction. I've read all this. I love marketing. I run an internet marketing business, and like, what's the best time to send a newsletter or to get an open rate, or when's the best time to drop a YouTube video to get all the views? Dude, who cares? Who cares? Just hit publish and help people. Just send an you can be more effective, Brian. I understand you're chasing over spilt milk at this point. Okay, just send it. However, make sure that you double check it. And by the way, don't overthink it. I know some of you guys that are like, man, I like, Brian, can you take a look at this bid? And I'm like, it's not really what I'm here for. Respectfully, I'm not here to look at all your bids. I can't. I'm not on site. I can't look at your apartment complex or your 60 home condo complex. I don't bid sites that big, to be also honest with you. I know my bread and butter. I'm not out there bidding, 16-acre industrial complexes and FedEx distribution centers, okay? Sorry, I'm not your guy. Get an acre rate, map your stuff out, measure it, and then times it, and then cumulatively add it all up, and there you go. All right. And maybe that's totally wrong. Maybe that's totally right. I don't know. I know my sweet spot for my company and what I'm good at. I stay in my lane. Okay. But here's the deal. Don't overthink it. Eventually you have to send it. Okay. And that's actually number 10. Number one factor is speed. Get the bid back in their hand 24 hours max. Because here's my point. A lot of folks are like thinking it, they're overthinking it, they're looking at their bid 5 different times, and or maybe it took them 4 or 5 days to even get the bid going, right? And here's the deal. They called 2 other people in the meantime, and I'll just be honest with you. I'd say 70% of the time they're going to go with the person who gets back with them first. I mean, just straight up, like, especially somebody who's like, no, like if you can just handle this, we'll pay pretty much whatever as long as it's reasonable. Okay, cool. Get back in touch with that person within 48 hours. 24 hours is usually like max to me. Okay, so for example, I emailed all of my folks on Thursday, I think afternoon, or I think it was Thursday or Friday, whatever it was. It's just this last week. And I said, hey, are you open for a commercial bid? They all said yes, which was actually really cool. 4 out of 4 said yes. And then actually that afternoon, I got a 5th call. And I said, yeah, let me take a look at the properties today and tomorrow. We were actually going to be plowing snow on Friday, so I was going to be at the sites again. But I actually went out on Thursday to take a look at all the properties before all the snow fell. And I said, hey, I'm going to be I emailed them all back. Hey, I'm going to be plowing snow on Friday, but let me get this email and this bid back to you Monday, right? So they're not thinking about the lawn and landscape bid in end of February, over the weekend in the dead of winter when 2 inches of snow fell. You know what I'm saying? Monday is a great time to get that email back to them. But it still proves the point. April, May, June, July, whatever time somebody calls you up and like, hey, give me a quote, give me a bid. It doesn't mean drop everything. Although Liz and I both have like kind of like a soft policy. If I get home and I'm like, hey, I got a commercial account that called or a bid, I want to get this one. She and I both know, hey, the next hour, I'm gonna type this thing up. It doesn't even really take an hour, but I got to do some measurements on, online. If I've already seen the property in person, right? Measure it out, get some prices back to them, and fill out the contract and email back to that person. My goal is to get something back to them like same day or next day. But speed is feed. You know what I mean? Learn that from the fast food industry. Speed is feed. But get the bid back to them as soon as you can. All right, so these are my top 10 tips. There's, I'm sure, 100 more. I actually wrote down an 11th one. 11th one is a bonus tip. Update your Google My Business listing. If you're listening to this, you haven't done it over winter, no big deal. I understand we've all been busy or taking naps. Or maybe you're taking a nap because you're plowing so much snow. I think we went out for our 14th or 15th snow event on Friday, which is crazy, okay? Here's the thing. Update your Google My Business listing. We all know that keeping those things up to date with texts and links and hours of operation and photos and reviews helps it with the SEO. Okay, if that's the case and you can update some of that stuff here in the next week or two, a couple weeks, and the SEO wants to rank your business up just one more guy. Maybe you're 4th, now you're 3rd. Maybe you're 18th, now you're 17th. Maybe you're 2nd, now you're 1st, right? And all these commercial accounts start calling you. Now you rank one spot higher, and they're going to at least hopefully you're in a better position to receive that phone call. Amen? All right, so that's what I got for an 11th bonus tip. One other that I'm thinking about just right now, you don't have to be reactionary to getting commercial accounts. You can go pass out flyers, postcards, a pamphlet, a folder, a bid folder. Some people do that. Whatever works. Look, here's the deal. Almost every commercial business says no soliciting. Don't solicit, but here's what you can do. Run inside, say, hey, I just want to drop this off. And they go, what is it? It's a landscape bid. I'm not here to sell you. I know your sign says no soliciting. I just want to drop this off. If you need anything, call me. And just walk out. And that a little drop in like that, it's innocent. It's non-threatening. Everybody's going to say yeah. But they're going to say, yeah, sure. By the way, if you drop it off and you say, and they go, what is this? You go, oh, it's just a lawn and landscape flyer. We have a lawn and landscaping business. We also do snow. They're going to go, whoa. Before you run out the door, our last guy sucked. Give us a quote. Okay, fantastic. And some people are like, well, how do you get commercial properties? Well, most of mine have all came from Google My Business listing, or I knew somebody who was an office manager. That's the 11 sites that we have right now, and the 4 HOAs. But that being said, I have another buddy of mine who he went and got like 40 commercial lawn, landscaping, and fur accounts over the winter into spring because he went up and down like literally every commercial tech business and tech park and industrial drive where we live, like in a 5 mile radius, which is probably 400 or 500, maybe 1,000 businesses. I don't know, probably more, right? But he came out with like 40 commercial sites, and he did like 80,000 or something more because of all of that. And he was in growth mode. He was hungry for it. And he's like, dude, I'm passing out postcards to everybody. It takes time. You got to walk them all door to door, office to office, the whole deal. But you know what? That works too. You don't always have to wait for the phone to ring to get that commercial work. If you want to go into the offices, same kind of conversation. Don't be pitching yourself. Don't be trying to sell or convince. Walk in there, drop off a postcard. Hey, if the decision maker is available or if the office manager is available, I got a couple quick minutes. I can maybe walk around the site with them if you guys want. If not, I can always email you something. Hey, yeah, they're tied up. Here's their card. Email them something. Susan wants to take a look at the whole site with you. She'll be available here in just a quick second. Awesome. Right. And by the way, when you get that person, go, hey, now, do you want me to submit this to you? Or are you the decision maker on this? Or do you want me to submit this to somebody else? Oh, yeah. Well, no, I'm just the office manager, but Michael over here, he's the CFO. Michael takes care of all the bids that come in. Okay, fantastic. Do you want me to send this to you or to Michael? Oh, no, just go ahead and send it to Michael. I'll let him know that I walked the property with you and told you what we wanted. Right? So like you're busy selling Susan, and the decision maker is Michael, right? So don't be afraid to poke. Don't be afraid to pry a little bit. Dig deeper. See who's the decision maker. That's what I got. That's all these little tips that work for us. Hopefully they work for you. While the techniques and approaches may suggest they work for others, nobody can guarantee they work for you. We do, however, hope that they help you have a more profitable business. Like at the end of almost every success talk or CD or self-help book, or training courses, the disclaimer, right? So, all right, guys. Well, that's what I got for you. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm doing my best to put my best foot forward here, help you guys grow. I really want to see you guys get new customers. I really want to see you guys raise those rates. Price increase letter or market adjustment letter, launchpreneuracademy.com, commercial contract, launchpreneuracademy.com. And for real, don't sleep on this one. Whole ball of wax. Whole ball of wax, 10% off through the month of March. Promo code Spring Rush. Check that out, and I think you guys will be really excited about that. All right, guys, that's what I got for you on today's episode. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we come to you with a new podcast every morning at 7 a.m., and we really appreciate you guys listening in. Podcast is growing. I can see the numbers already ticking up. The season's going to be here in the next couple of weeks. Some of you guys are already out there, which is crazy and super exciting. But either which way, guys, wish you all the best. If you're plowing snow, making that dough, be safe. If you guys are transitioning, hey, you know what? Get all your ducks in a row. The season will be here before it's popping off. And for all you guys that are already out there doing cleanups and mowing and mulch, man, I'm jealous for sure. We got another 6 weeks before we even say the word spring around here. Amen. So, all right, guys. Well, that's what I got for you on today's episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Always appreciate you guys listening in, and we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
We are stoked about the 6 brand new resources that we have just for you at launchpreneuracademy.com. I'm Mr. Producer, and Brian has been working hard to make sure the resources you've been requesting are now available for download. We have the landscaping bid form and estimate sheet.
This is going to be huge. I'm so excited about making this available to our landscaping friends.
The customer cancellation of service letter.
Canceling customers and pruning your business is one of the most important things you can do.
The subcontractor agreement form.
If you guys are hiring subcontractors, use a subcontractor agreement.
The change of order landscaping form.
There's not a landscape job you do where something doesn't change. They want to add lighting, they want to change plants, they want to change things around.
The employment application form.
Now we have that at launchpreneuracademy.com. It's $30. Every person you bring into your organization needs to fill out the employee application.
The employment handbook and company guidelines.
When we hire new people, they are going to get an employee handbook. They're going to sign off on it, and it's just another way to CYA.
Get instant access to these 6 new resources plus 30 more at launchpreneuracademy.com.
All these documents are downloadable, editable, and you can customize them to your business.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.